The person that you're with, your partner, can literally be your demise. The person you choose to spend your life with can either help you accomplish your goals and dreams, be an asset to your life, or they can be a liability. They can cost you everything. Welcome to the Dutton Mindset Show. In this episode, we're going to talk about how do you know if you have the right partner? How do you know if you're with the right person for your life? Before we get too deep into it, make sure you guys go ahead and like this video so that way I can keep making content just like this. If you don't like it, then I don't know if you like it. If you do like it, I want to make sure I add value and keep doing that. So let's go ahead and dive into this, right? Before you can determine if you're with the right person, you have to ask yourself, what type of person are you? And what I mean by that is, every single person has a complement, right? So, for example, if you're a neutral person, that means that you're not very feminine, you're not very masculine, you're more a neutral. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You need to find someone else who is also neutral. You can't be with a very masculine woman or a very masculine man if you're a neutral partner. Same thing applies if you're feminine. You need a masculine partner. If you're masculine, you need a feminine partner. So let's say you're a woman who is a career woman and you love your career and you're never giving up on that career and you want to be able to get to the highest levels of this career. Well, you absolutely need to find a man who is not only okay with that, but complements that, because there are things in gender roles. There are roles that need to be done in a household for a household to survive. A lot of people don't agree with that, but that's the truth. There needs to be a provider and there needs to be a nurturer. Neither one is easier than the other. They're both extremely challenging roles, but there needs to be both. And so that masculine rolled woman needs to find a man who's okay with being the lead, guardian for the children, someone who's okay with, taking the kids to school, someone who's raising them, someone who's nurturing them, right? Nurturing you. And vice versa. If you are a very masculine man, you will be happier with a woman who is in her feminine energy. If you're neutral, again, you like some of those things, you could do some of those things, but you're also pretty invested in your career, but you could go either way. And, you need to find someone who's just like that, neutral. Makes sense? So you got to figure out what type of person you are and then look at the person you're with. And that might actually be the answer to many of your issues. There's a couple of really good books about it. Highly recommend that you check them out. Okay. There's one that's called Ways of the Superior Man. If you're a young man watching this, then that is a good book for you. If you're a woman, then, you could probably also learn something from that. I'm sure there's many other things. Now, number two, what does this person do to feel the need for friends, right? Like, what does this person do to fill the need of friends? I am a firm believer that when you are in a marriage specifically, your partner, your spouse should replace your need to have friends. Like, no married man and no married woman should feel like they need friends. Now, it's not to say you can't have friends. You should have friends, but your greatest friend should be the person you're with, because when push comes to shove, that is the person who, like we said, in sickness and health, richer or poor, better or worse, that person's going to be there with you. Hopefully, the conditions are set in such a way that there's a larger amount of things that can be tolerated, where with friendships, it's very conditional. And so you have to make sure that this person you're with is someone that is your greatest friend. And honestly, maybe makes you feel like you don't actually need to have other friends. Like, you can have associates, you can have colleagues, you can have buddies, you can have people you go out with and enjoy time with, but no one is closer to you than your spouse. And so you need to have someone that makes you feel like they are your greatest friend. Do they fill that void? And if they don't, and they're just a spouse, well, then that now means that they're just a tool to you. They're just some type of asset. And that is not conducive for a healthy, long-term relationship. And you're probably not with the right person. Number three, does this person help you fulfill your goals and your dreams? Look, it's not someone else's job to make you successful. However, you have things that you want to achieve, and the person that you're with has a huge role in them. I was in previous relationships where, although I may have loved these people, I was not being fulfilled because they were not capable of helping me reach my goals. They did not want me to do those things. And it mainly is because I was a certain type of person. They were the same type of person. We did not complement each other. So we're both trying to achieve the same thing, which means we're ultimately fighting against each other. You need to be with someone who helps you fulfill whatever personal goals you have. You need to first know what those goals are, and then you need to find out if this person's helping you get closer to them, right? If you're trying to start a business, for example, any man in here who wants to be a successful business owner, well, you need a partner who is 100% on board with all of the sacrifice, all of the time, all of the assets, all the money, all the investment, everything that's going to be required of you to actually make that successful. Like, you need to be with someone who's going to help you reach those goals, who's willing to sacrifice for you, who's willing to eat ramen noodles because you guys took your last money and put it into something. Like, the person who understands where you're going, understands what you're doing, and believes in your plan. If the person you're with is constantly fighting against you and telling you that's probably not a good idea, or maybe we should just do this, or let's just take the safe route, that's probably not the person for you. And again, this is completely dependent upon your goals and dreams. Now, the fourth thing that you need to think about when determining if the person you're with is the right person for you is, are you guys able to disagree on certain things and still find a solution to move forward? See, sometimes people, they disagree and then they fight and they bicker and they argue and they never come to solutions. You should never go to sleep angry. And when you guys have disagreements or issues, you should be able to communicate in a way that finds a solution, however that may look. Maybe you guys can agree to disagree and then you just let it go. Maybe one partner just bends over and just takes it. Maybe one person apologizes. Whatever the case is, you guys have to be able to disagree, and then you have to be able to move forward. And you'd be surprised how many relationships people they're in and they hold on to this resentment, and it piles up and it piles up, and they can never come to solutions. That's just a level of toxicity that ultimately is going to boil over, and you're not going to be able to maintain a healthy relationship. And that's probably not the person for you. And then the last way to really determine, and this one seems obvious, but is the person you're with the right person? Do they love you? Do you feel truly loved? Do you feel respected? And do you feel valued for what you contribute to the household? Right? Like, you might not have accomplished everything that you want to accomplish, and maybe you don't have that much to offer on paper, but do you still get valued for what you bring to the table? Because it's not nothing. Do you feel respected? Is this person putting you first? Do they talk bad about you when you're not around? Do they talk bad about you when you are around? Do they talk bad about you to their parents? Do they talk bad about you to their friends? Like, you have to ask yourself, do you truly feel respected? And sometimes in relationships where we've been disrespected for so long, we might say, yeah, I feel respected, but in reality, we have been brainwashed to think we're respected, but we're actually not. We're disrespected every single day. We're not actually loved. We're loved for what we can do, or we're loved for what we did, but we're not loved for who we are. We're not loved for our little things, right? They're bothered by us. I'll tell you what, I don't like dogs. I have a dog, and it's my wife's dog. I hate this dog. I think it stinks. I think that it's ugly and makes a lot of noise. It's a French bulldog. I really just don't like it. I think it's a very ugly creature. I don't like the dog, and I don't love the dog. And sometimes I look at the dog and I say I can tolerate the dog, and it's good enough. I'm not going to give it away because I can tolerate it. And sometimes we're just being tolerated. Some people are just tolerating us, and we think that they love us, but they don't. They just tolerate us the same way I tolerate that dog. But see, I love my wife. And so because I love my wife, I'll tolerate the dog. Are you being tolerated, or are you actually being loved? Is someone just putting up with you because you're what's good enough right now? Or do they actually truly love you, respect you, and value you for what you have right now? Not what you could do, not what you have or bring to the table, not what could be, or because of the money you have, or because of how you look, or because of your body. Do they value you, the person that's behind that little black dot in your eyeball? If the answer to any of these questions is no, or you're not sure, I highly recommend that you take a quick, deep look at your relationship and determine whether or not you are with the right person. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Again, any subscription is valued. And make sure that you guys tune in, hit that notification bell so you can get the next episode. I drop these once a week, a couple times a week. And so I want to make sure that you are reaching your maximum potential in your life, your marriage, your business, your personal goals, your mindset in every way. Take care. God bless.